Hey guys, welcome back to my Zoom videos. In this video, we're going to go over the settings page or the option page. I'm going to probably make this video in two parts, and there are going to be some parts of it that I'm actually going to go in more depth in as a separate video for those as well, and I will explain to those once I get to those. So the first thing is, how do you get to your options? Well, there are two ways. If you sign in, if you have an account, you sign in, and you get to this page, all you have to do is hit this little gear icon right here. And then you're going to get to your settings page right here. Now, if you don't have an account and you're in a meeting already, I'm going to join a meeting real quick to show you. Once you're in a meeting, I'm going to make myself right there, you're going to see little arrows next to the video and microphone. Once you click that, you're going to see an option on this drop down menu. It says audio settings, and then you're going to see video settings. So you click either one of those, it's going to bring you also to the settings page, but it's going to bring you to the specific tab of what you're looking for. So since I hit the video settings, it's going to bring me to the videos tab, and then if I hit the audio settings, it will bring me to the audio tab. So those are two ways, and that way is more specific if you don't have an account, and then this is the way you can edit your options through a meeting. So we're going to end the meeting real quick and for all, and I'm going to bring it back to the settings page right here. So let's start off. I'm going to start off with the general. I'm just going to go down the list. And again, this is going to probably be in two parts just because there's a lot to kind of go through. But most of the stuff is default. There's not many options I have changed. I would just say leave what the default are, but I'll explain a couple of them that you might want to change for yourself. Also, the two things I'm going to talk about more in depth in other videos is the share screen function and the virtual background. In this video, I will go over the share screen options because there are settings for that, but I'm going to make another video of how to share your screen and what does that mean. And then I'm also going to make another video on how to make a virtual background. So let's get started. Let's start with general. Start Zoom when Windows starts. That means when you first turn on your computer, Zoom will automatically turn on. Now this feature is default turned off, which I recommend that it is off unless you are using Zoom constantly. This helps also let your computer boot up faster, because if it boots up the computer and then it has to boot up Zoom, this takes a longer process to boot up, and then by the time it's fully boot, it might take some time. So leave that feature off, and it helps your computer boot up faster, and you don't have to worry about it, and then you can just open Zoom when you want to make a meeting anyways. When enclosed, minimize window and notification area instead of a taskbar. So what this means is when you close out these two out, when you close out this, sometimes Zoom is still running in the background. You might not know that. So if you were to go down, I'm going to move my picture out of here. If you were to come down here, you may see the Zoom icon down here or in this little pop-up window here. As you guys can see, this is my Zoom icon right here, and that's because it's running. Now this means, like, if this is nice to have. You can have it running in the background if you are waiting to get a meeting or an invite, and someone can send you an invite and then pop you into a meeting. That's what this cool feature is about. Now, if you don't want that, you can uncheck that. But if that does happen and you close it out and it's still running in the background, all you have to do is come here, find the icon, right click, and hit exit, and then it will actually fully close Zoom. But we're not going to do that right now. But use dual monitors. If you have dual monitors, you can actually, looks like you can set it up to where you can have more people you can see in your gallery view, or more people on a screen. If you have two screens, you can use both screens. I do have dual monitors, but I just use Zoom on one screen, and I can do other things on the other screen. But again, that's up to you guys if you want to use that. Enter full screen automatically when starting or joining a meeting. So if you join a meeting right now, it pops up in a window similar to this right here. It's going to see, you can see the X button and all that. But what this means, if you turn this on, it will fully go and take out the entire screen, not showing your icons, not showing the taskbar and whatnot, and it just puts you right to the meeting, so you just see nothing but the meeting. There is a way to enter full screen once you're in a meeting, and I showed you guys that in the one of my first videos. But if you want that feature automatically, you can turn that one on. Automatically copy an invite link. So what this means is once you start a meeting, the Zoom will automatically copy the link, so you can just paste it to people on however you want to send it to them, on Facebook, email, text, however. that feature, I would just say keep it off because it's very easy to get the link. You can just copy it from when you're in a meeting. And I showed you guys that also in my one of my first videos. Ask me to confirm when leaving a meeting. This is default, and I like it like that because that way when you hit leave meeting, it says, are you sure you want to leave meeting? And then also leave meeting for everybody. It closes the entire meeting out, especially for the host. It's a nice feature to have just in case you accidentally click leave meeting and didn't mean to do it. It's nice to get a confirmation before. Show my connected time. So what this means is this has a timer on there, a clock kind of thing that's showing you how long you've been on a meeting. If you have a free account and you're in a meeting with 3 or more people, like I told you guys that before in a previous video, the free account only gives you a meeting access for 40 minutes if you have 3 or more people in your room. So if you're in a meeting and you have 3 or more people and you get to about I think the 10-minute mark, it actually has a countdown, so you have a timer, so you know how much time you have left to end your meeting. This is an opposite way of that, and actually just shows you how long you've been on the meeting once you're in a meeting. Remind me 5 minutes before my upcoming meetings. This is a reminder to let you know if you have a meeting upcoming. You can schedule meetings. If you turn that on, you can also even change the time. So if you want it 10 or 15 minutes before, you can change that. If you have a lot of meetings and you're constantly doing them, this might be a good feature for you to have, so you can get a reminder of when the meeting's about to start. I don't use that feature, so I just have mine off. Stop my video and audio when my display is off or screensaver begins. So this is if you're in a meeting and you need to step away real quick, something happened, and you can turn off your monitor, or you can put your computer in sleep, and it would automatically shut off the mic and camera. So in case you accidentally forget to hit the mute and camera mute, and while you step away, and then that way no one can hear or see what's going on in your house when you're not in front of your computer. Reaction skin tone. Again, you can change the color of your thumbs up and your hand wave when you want to raise your hand and stuff like that in the meetings. View more settings. These are more of like an advanced settings that have to do with more scheduling meetings and such. I've noticed, and you also have to sign in and check them out, and it brings you to the website. My recommendation: you don't really have to worry about that. If you do want to check it out, you're welcome to look at it. But most of the options that you really need are going to be on this settings page. So the next tab is the video tab. Right now, because I'm using this recorder thing, actually let me move this back down. Just because I'm using the recorder on my screen recorder, it's actually just showing a gray screen, but normally it would show my webcam. Down below it just shows you can choose what camera you're using if you have multiple webcams. This one just shows the one that I have. Default, it will defaultly stretch your screen out depending on the type of web camera you have. My camera original ratio is actually more of a square, which is a 4:3. That's a widescreen 16:9. So if you want to go back to normal ratio, you can click on that. Also, if you are getting a square screen and not getting a widescreen like the rest of us while you're in a meeting, you might want to check this option and make sure you're on widescreen and not original ratio. My video, so the Enable HD, this is a cool feature, but it makes the video quality a little bit better, but it uses more bandwidth and more resources and stuff for internet. It may cause more lagging issues, and I know Zoom has been having quite a bit of lag issues recently. And most of that is just more of internet. Just people are also on your same Wi-Fi if they're streaming Netflix while you're on a meeting. Maybe somebody's internet isn't as good, but adding the Enable HD is a nice feature to have. But again, it uses more, and it's probably right now with all the lag, chances are the lag may happen more frequently if you enable HD. So I would just recommend leaving that off. Plus, the quality of the videos and people I see are great, and I haven't noticed anything bad. They weren't horrible. They're not like pixelated or anything. So, mirror my video. So that pretty much means that when you look at yourself on the gallery, or you see right here, if you raise your hand up, it's going to mirror and show you that right hand. If you uncheck it, it's going to flip the screen and show you what people are seeing more on your gallery, like how other people are going to see you. Touch up my appearance. It's just like beauty mode on your camera. If you have a smartphone, they have a beauty mode, and it's like almost on by default on most new phones now. That's just like a feature that way. Again, but that's a little bit more computer use, so definitely keep that off if you want to help on the lag. Um, Always display participant names under the video. Yeah, that way you can see who you're talking to. If you don't want it, you can turn it off. Turn off my video when joining a meeting. This will default turn off your video when you first join a meeting if you want that feature turned on. If not, you can just hit the turn off video when you first enter a meeting anyways. It's pretty easy, and I showed you guys how to do that in one of my first videos. Um, Always show video preview dialog when joining a meeting. So I have this set, and you can turn it off. But this one will actually probably turn off if I hit turn off my video when joining a meeting anyways. But this means is when you first join a meeting, before you actually join in completely, it will show like a little window box similar to like this size, and it will show you your webcam. It will show you the type of camera you're using, and it's like, all right, is this okay to use before you join the meeting? And then you can just hit okay. Hide non-video participants. So pretty much if someone doesn't have their video on in the meeting and you're in like a gallery view, it will remove them from the view and just push everybody that has a webcam to the front of the list of your gallery meeting. Spotlight my video when speaking. So example, like when I'm talking right now, it will come to me. So if you have that feature turned on. Now this is a nice feature if you're kind of just going back and forth, but if someone's talking and you have this feature turned on and like you accidentally cough or like sneeze or something like that, it will bring your video it will come to your video first for that 1 second and then go back to him because it'll continue talking. And you don't want to use that to interrupt whoever's speaking in the meeting. So that's why I leave that feature. I would recommend leaving that feature off. Do not see in the video. You can do troubleshooting steps. It'll bring you to the website and give you troubleshooting options. Advance, enable, disable noise, all this stuff I just recommend leaving as the default. So that I wouldn't really go much into that. I think with the defaults it's fine. Now we're going to audio. So this is actually one of the options that I wanted to mention about, and this comes in when it deals with the speaker and the sound that's coming out of your computer or laptop. Now, if you connect your laptop through HDMI to your TV, by default, Zoom will still play the sound through your laptop and not through your TV. So to fix that is once you connect your laptop to your TV and you come over here and you click on the speakers option, it's going to have a drop down. And right now it only has 2 because I'm not connected to my TV. But once it connects it will actually show you your TV there. You can just click your TV and then the sound will automatically start going to your TV. Now, once you do that setting option, and unless you delete it and have to reinstall Zoom, it will know once you connect it to default the sound to your TV, and then once you disconnect it, will default back to your laptop. So after you do that one time, it should just go back and forth depending on which one you're using. Output level. So if you're hearing a lot of noise in the meeting, people talking, it will show you the bar moving up and down, just like this input level. You can control the volume. It's like a standard volume on your computer. If you have any issues with your speaker or your mic, you can hit these to test out your speaker or mic. You can check if you have different microphones, you can use that. Input level, this is actually me talking right now, that's what it's measuring. And then automatically adjust volume. So this is a cool feature. As I'm talking, you may notice this dot move. If I'm talking too loud, Zoom will know to kind of lower my mic volume so that way it was not too loud for you guys that are listening. So that's a cool feature. Use a separate audio device to play ringtone simultaneously. So I guess if you have a separate device and you connect it, this will play the sound on that separate device. So in case like your laptop's muted or sounds off or whatnot, and you get a notification or a ringtone for something, it'll ring on that device. I haven't had it connected, so I never really used that feature. Automatically join audio by computer when joining a meeting. That would be the best way to do it. Now, what they mean by join audio by computer when joining a meeting is you can actually, in a chat, when you're in a meeting, you can actually call by phone and join in audio through your phone, but still see the video through your computer. Again, I would just keep the join by audio with the computer. But this means automatically join audio by computer. So when you first do a meeting, the dialog box comes up and it shows you, do you want to join by audio, computer audio, and then you hit yes. There actually is a little checkbox below in the bottom of that little dialog box that says this, and if you want to automatically do it, and I checked that off, so that's why this is checked off here. Mute my microphone when joining a meeting. Again, this is like the video option. You can mute yourself when you first enter it. This saves you the step of doing that if you want that. But I just leave it off because I'll mute myself already. Press and hold the space key to temporarily unmute yourself. So what this means is if you're muted and you just want to say something real quick and just go then go back to being muted, all you have to do is hit the space bar or the space key and hold it, say what you want to say, then once you let go, it will go back to mute. Sync buttons on headset. So if you have a headset that has special buttons, you can sync it with your headset to control your Zoom. Advanced, again, defaults, leave these unchecked. These are set to auto. You don't really have to worry about that unless you're having some of these issues, but you shouldn't have to worry about that. So the last option is a share screen. Now I'm going to make a video on this separately of how to share your screen once you're in a meeting and such, but these are just the options. So by default, enter a full screen when a participant shares screen. That way, when someone's sharing the screen, you're not seeing your own computer. You're just seeing the device of the person, whoever's sharing their screen. So that's a nice feature that way. Now, maximize the window. These are two actually different options. So if you were to click one, the other one would get unchecked. So this feature would make sure the video is maximized. So what it means by maximize is like this. So you'd want it, this is not technically full screen. It takes the whole screen up, but you can still see your taskbar. Full screen removes the taskbar. You just see nothing but the meeting. So we're going to bring that back down. So my recommendation is leave it to full screen. Scale to fit shared content in a Zoom window. So this is a good feature is if you're whoever's sharing has a bigger resolution on their device, this will help shrink it down so you can still see everything on their screen. Sometimes if that feature's not on there, it will only show you what you can see based on your resolution. Enable remote control of all applications. If you turn this feature on, you can enable remote control, and you can possibly control their computer. So if you're, like let's say you're helping somebody, and you can actually do it for them, like remotely. I'm actually gonna turn that feature on, and let's see if that does that. Actually, you know what? We'll worry about that later. So leave that checked off. Side-by-side mode. If you turn this feature on, two people can share. You can share your screen, and somebody else can share your screen, and both screens will be visible in the meeting. People can see both your screens going at once. So if you need to match up some paperwork or something, a file or whatnot, to make sure the correct information, you can do that feature and turn that feature on. Silent system notifications when sharing desktop. This is definitely a good feature to have, so that way if you get any notification through your Chrome browser, if you get like a Facebook message or whatever, an email or whatnot, any of those notifications that usually pop up in the bottom like here and it has a ding, when you're in a sharing screen, it won't show up, and that way people can't see your personal notifications if you need that. Advanced. Again, default, leave everything to default. If you're having lag issues, especially when sharing your screen, this might be a nice feature to turn on. And this just lowers the speed of the video, which would also help maybe with lag. But again, you really shouldn't have to worry about that. So again, everything else is default. By this point, wow, we're almost at 20 minutes. So I'm going to leave this here, and I'm going to do a part 2 of the rest of the options. The rest of the options will go a little bit smoother. There's not as many options to go through. So this is the end of part 1 of this. If you guys have any questions, please comment below or send me a message on my Facebook page. And if not, I'll see you guys in the next video.